Alright, this video is going to show the importing of a song that is not in our library by going to Song Select and doing the import process. It'll also discuss how to format the slides to make them more user-friendly, if you will. Also, it will show the use of a template that's been predefined. How you predefine a template is you go in to a song, you go to edit, and you kind of look at all these little items here, make some changes into the font sizes and the positioning, whether you want an outline, whether you want a drop shadow or not. And then once you've made these changes, you've highlighted your slide, you go to File, Save Selected Slide as Template, and you give it a name. You can actually see that I have a song template saved, but you would click Save. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to test template on here. So, we this Sunday sang a song, and I'm going to go to our library, and we did not have it in our library. I could go look at the default slide just so you can see, no, we don't have a CCLI number. So how do I import something without a CCLI number? Well, instead of going that way, we're going to go to the PDF that has the actual words for the musicians, and we do have a CCLI number here. In this example, I'm not going to search by CCLI number. I'm going to search by name, just so you can see that process and go from there. So here we are, clicking on Song Select at the top. I'm going to type in, as you can see, if you type in Amazing Grace, it gives you 1,454 results. That's the importance of the CCLI number. And I already forgot the name of the song, Look How He Lifted Me. So then I press enter, and we only have one result. We have 10 results because it's taken a combination of these words and they fit these. But I see Look How He Lifted Me, Chris Brown, Israel Houghton, okay, and this other guy. This is the song, I'm 99% sure, but 703, 15, 16, 703, 15, 16, I'm 100% sure. So sometimes with some very obscure songs, you may not get a CCLI number, you may get 1,000 hits, you may not know the author. That's when you talk to your song leader and say help, and then they'll tell you Chris Brown and such. So we're going to click import, and we're going to do page break. Line break would do one line at a time, probably not the best option. So I do a page break, one page break per slide, and then I'm going to import to template, and song template is already selected, and so it's already selected. I'll select it again just for kicks. This form is filled out. Sometimes I used to think that clicking that would import it. No, it's part of the form. Import to the library. Don't want to select a new library, so import the library, and just click import. So there it is. Yes, I've imported it 3 times. I've deleted them 3 times, but they seem to come back. Probably because I haven't closed ProPresenter and reopened it. These are found in the trash, but here's the one. But as you can see, I'm going to click on it. It looks a little busy, and I'm going to give you how the song breaks down because, well, when I heard it at church today, and I formatted it at our library at church. Something you'll also notice is we're going to start having our copyright information. I'm going to suggest we put it on a blank slide so it shows at the blank and not on any slides we have words. That may change. If that does change, then you'll just see no blank slide at the end. I'm also wanting to put a blank slide at the beginning just because I like to have that there just in case we're ready to go to the song and there's a long musical intro, or we have a long introduction by the musicians themselves. So we're going to go here, and the first thing we always want to have on the first slide is a background. The reason why is if I have a background, oh no, let me choose this background. If I have a background and I go to the second slide or the slide without that little media, you can see that poses a problem. Not so bad when it's a background like this, but most of the time we have the fellowship up and we go to the first slide of the song, and if you're not looking at the projector and you have your head down, I'm guilty of it, this is what you get. And your director kindly says, hey, can you fix the background? And you look up and you're like, oh yeah. So to alleviate that problem, I have put a blank slide, and I believe Jonathan does the same thing. And I've put a blank slide. Sometimes you will see even this option. You'll have two slides, one without words, one with words, both of them having a background, just in case you come in here. Also, let's see, we're going to put a slide here. Also, you may see it, let's not put any different slides. Before services, it may be boring to do, click through every slide. You also want to do that just in case the bottom is truncated. We need to make sure our text block is in the same place every time. And so what I'm going to do just for kicks is, well, it's not going to let me undo, so I'm going to come here, and this is good to have in the training video. These positions, these are, I believe, are XY positions for this dot right there, and then this is the size of the block. So I didn't adjust the size of the block here, I don't think. I may have, so yes I did. So 1010, 10,004, I forgot the last one. 10,004, 748. So 1010, 10,004, 748. So now it's, the text is in the wrong spot, so we've got to make sure we're in the middle. So again, this was good to show in the video because it helps us get used to the blocking positions of the anchor point and the size of the block. So that would have been easily corrected had I used a template. So let's go ahead and just apply the song template to this slide, and boom, it corrects it, puts it in the right position. We'll add the shadows, but that was already there. We were just correcting the position. All right, so now we're going to go to the beginning of the song, discuss how to add the media background. Again, we don't use backgrounds, but I'm going to put one here. There we go. Got to make sure he's in there and drop it. The reason why I did this is I wanted to show the template in action. I wanted you to see the text shadow I've added, and you can barely see it, but each word has a outline, very thin. That's if we ever go back to using backgrounds. For now though, we're going to do black background. So I'm going to remove, and then highlight, and then drag, and drop, just so we have a background there. So now I'm going to discuss, let me hit show so you can see the screen. It's quite busy and the lines are broken in the wrong place. And I'm going to give you the phrases in this video. Not going to sing, don't worry about that, but I will stop as if I was singing. Just so you can see the breaks. And I'm not going to correct it until I start over. So it's the song goes, my world was shaking, my heart was broken, my hope was fading, the walls were closing in. But now I'm singing, look how he lifted me. And so you'll see, hopefully, that these are broken in the wrong spot. So I'm going to break them and put them in the right spot. I also, I believe we're going to go to the first word of each line will be capitalized. All punctuation except for apostrophes when it's plural will be removed, so no commas, no periods, no exclamation points. If we go back and have that, that will be different, but for now, we've discussed removing the punctuations. So my hope was fading, the walls were closing in, but now I'm singing, look how he lifted me. All right, let's show the difference, and I'll kind of word the song. My world was shaking, my heart was broken, my hope was fading, the walls were closing in, but now I'm singing, look how he lifted me. All right, and I could break this in a church. I don't remember how I did it, but I could break this to make it look kind of neat and keep the audience, I don't want to say on their toes, don't want to have too much distraction, but if we have everything look 100% uniform, they get kind of bored. So what I'm going to do, instead of breaking it in half like I did in my first attempt with this video, I'm actually going to break it in half in thirds. And I'm trying to edit over on the left side. You can't do that. You've got to come here. And what I'm going to do here is hit the Option key and return. And this is going to break the slide in two. All right, and the reason why I broke it here is because I liked it during the song where we had, but now I'm singing, look how he lifted me, on its own slide. In the prior attempt of this video, I divided it in half and just had two slides. Still going to have two slides, but it's going to be broken down a little differently. This is something that I do when there's a major break in the song. My world was shaking, my heart was broken. If there's a major break, I will add a shift and return. My hope was fading, the walls were closing in. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to leave it like this, but maybe for this song I probably wouldn't because there wasn't much of a break here. So in other words, I'm going to get out of this, and we're going to come back here. Oh, and when I split the slide, if it had a background, it was there. I'm just going to remove it to save space. So my world was shaking, my heart was broken, my hope was fading, the walls were closing in, but now I'm singing, look how he lifted me. So you can see much better formatting. The user is not going to get bored because the text isn't going to be 100% in the same place, but it's there. And so we're going to edit. You can do quick edit, and if you're on the fly, and let me just, today I noticed there was a song that we had in our library that I hadn't edited until today, and I was on this slide and that slide, and I didn't see it when I clicked. So I could not have changed it. I could, but that would distract the audience and then go live. But what I've done in the past is if I've seen it on the next slide, if I have enough time, I'll do a quick edit and correct that. Very dangerous to do. You've got to make sure you're on your toes when you do it. So don't recommend it, because if you mess it up, there's no going back when the song is live. So again, I don't recommend a quick edit, but if it has to be done, if there's something blatantly spelled wrong or whatnot, then yes, by all means, we may want to do a quick edit. So this song is My Life Was Sinking, My Days Were Numbered, The Waves Were Crashing, The Flood Was Coming In. Oh hallelujah, look how he lifted me. And again, I'm going to hit the Option, return here, splits the slide up, and just to be uniform, a shift return will add the space line, the blank line. All right, and so as you can see, oh, look how he lifted me, his grace and mercy. Oh, don't do that. And if you also notice, I'm deleting the trailing space for every victory. I do that just in case the centering counts the space. I don't think it does, but I'm not going to test it. Just delete the space. Look how he lifted me, his grace and mercy is my testimony. For every victory, I've got a song to sing, look how he lifted me. This one, changing up a bit, I put 3 and 3. And I did that by holding the command option. All right, here's a slide. I don't think it's necessary to have the oohs and the ahs and the, that. If we were to leave this in, I would take out any musical connotation like chorus, verse, bridge. I think there's another one down here. I'm going to go down here. Yes, bridge. I would just take out bridge. I do this because, we as non-musicians don't really need to know that that was the bridge. Musicians probably like it. I'm okay with not having it. So right-click, disable slide. Come here, and notice disable slide is, you can also right-click. If you click on the slide, it will display it. So you have to be careful with disabled slides. And I can re-enable slide if I want, but I'm not going to now because I'm actually going to go through with the right arrow to show you disabled slides do get skipped. unless you click on it. And you're like, oops, I didn't mean to put that up there. So I don't really disable or enable slides. If it's something important, I drop it at the end. But in this case, I don't believe in oohs and ahs during the song. We have our background there. And this is 3 more slides left. He turned my mourning back into dancing. He turned my weeping into a shout again. And now I'm singing Look How He Lifted Me. Almost left that one. All right, we'll hit the option return, go back a slide, and just for uniformity, shift return. I didn't break it this way at church, but I'm just showing you the shift return and the option returns. He rolled my sorrows away at Calvary. He rose in triumph, and I believe it was away in Calvary during the song break, but I don't have my musicians to back me up on that. And look how he lifted me, so option return to create a new slide, shift return to add the space. Again, I'm only doing that for uniformity. And one more slide. When nothing else could help, your love came down. Your love came down. When nothing else could help, your love came down. And lifted me. Even though and of, I capitalized those. And shift return, nope, option return, my bad. And there you go. That is quickly how you edit a song that you've just imported. Something else, I can drag it into the production playlist. Notice it's got a little orange there. Command S saves it. Had your system crashed right then before the Command S, you'd have to do that all over again. Not a fun topic, especially if you've imported 4 songs, formatted them, you have 10 minutes for church and your computer reboots. That has happened to me. Let's see, I'm going to bring this in, and I'm actually going to change, just for kicks, I'm going to change it to this background so you can see, again, the text shadows and such. But I go to the next slide, doesn't have a background. Just to keep my library clean, I'm going to take the text out, the background off of there. Something else, you don't even have to have a background. Let's say if you're wanting to, and we're not going to do this because we don't use backgrounds, but I'm just showing you the power of Pro Presenter. So I'm going to select these 4 backgrounds one at a time at different portions of the song. So I go there, notice we have a background, they're singing, and then I go here, notice we have a background and they're singing. I go there, notice the background is changing every time. What I'm doing to do this is using the right arrow to move the text and the mouse to select the background. Again, we don't do that. I just want to show you the power of Pro Presenter. I have used that method, not every slide, but verse 1 would have a background, chorus would remain a solid background, so I would have that programmed in, and verse 2 would have another background, verse 3 would have another background. Again, we don't use backgrounds. Again, that may change, but for now, no backgrounds. What else do I want to discuss? Save it again. Oh yes, you have a song very fast. I'm adding ad-libbing to this instructional video, and it's very, very, very fast, very fast, very fast. And then you're down at the bottom, and you know your musician wants to go back at the top, slide 1. I'll do that again. You're back here, and your musician says, we're just going to stop with the first phrase of the verse. I don't know the musical term, so I'm just going to say the first phrase or the first slide. And so he's here. How hard is it to scroll here and come very quickly? It is very hard, especially if you have your slides. That's a little over exaggeration. Especially if you have your slides really big, because you have to scroll big time, and sometimes that little magic mouse is a pain in the mouse. So again, what I did, and I didn't tell you what I did, I just did it. Got to the slide, my hand is poised on the number 2, pressing the number 2, enter. That would be the enter key, not the shift key. So I'm going to go to the 6th slide. I'm going to go to the 4th slide. I've actually had a song leader say, I'm doing these different things. And notice I went to 10. I'm going to go to 14. And please reprogram it. Well, instead of reprogramming, I wrote down what he was doing on a piece of paper. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's say he's just, we're going to do slide 2, slide 4, slide 6, slide 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Again, that's kind of crazy. I must have hit 7. Don't think a song leader would ever do that drastic, but I did have one that was a little, I don't want to say all over the place, because he was a great musician, but instead of editing the song, because I knew the next time we would do verse 1 chorus, verse 2 chorus, I just did the 2, 4, 6, 8 on a piece of paper and just made sure I was there. Dangerous to do, because if you don't remember to go look at your sheet, your cheat notes, you're going to be going right arrow and you're going to be lost.